America. It is Friday, and we had a studio audience come in, and we want to talk a little bit about the election. I don't know about anybody else. Does it seem like the election's been going on absolutely forever? When it is, I was in the car the other day, and I heard somebody mention Nikki Haley. She's running for governor of South Carolina. And remember that there was this controversy where they were calling her names and saying, well, that doesn't narrow it down much. Anyway, there was a big scandal, a few months back, and I'm driving in the car. My first thought was, my gosh, she's still running? I mean, that this is still going on? It feels like there should have been an election for that long ago. I don't know how. First of all, could anyone run for 2 years? Could you just go out and run? I'm not asking you if you would want to. I'm asking, could you leave your life as you know it and do what these politicians do for 2 years? Anybody? Does that make anybody wonder how or who they're indebted to by the time they're done? How do you do that? We've got a problem here in America that we're spending far too much money on these campaigns, and it takes far too long. Does anyone feel like they really know, after all of this, raise your hand if you feel you really know the candidates. Wow. So let me ask you this. What do you know about the candidates generally? Not specifically, but generally, what do you feel like you know? Where are our microphones? Lee, we'll start over here.
I guess trusting them is, to me, the most important aspect. The ones that I do trust, the ones that I don't trust.
Do you feel like, and the choices, do you feel you know who to trust?
To be perfectly honest with you, at this exact moment, and I follow it pretty well, Marco Rubio seems to be the only politician at this moment that I can actually trust, and it makes it easy who he's surrounded with.
Who's from New York? Anybody from New York? Okay. Does anybody know who they're going to vote for? Do you? As governor? Let me go, Richard. Pass the microphone over to Richard here. Richard, who are you? That's you, Richard, in the green sweater. He's looking around going, me? Who are you going to vote for governor?
Palatino.
Really?
Absolutely.
Even with all the things that have gone on.
Even though he's somewhat of a loose cannon.
Somewhat.
Somewhat of a loose cannon, and I would think that between the two, I would trust him more. I think he's not a professional.
You've automatically dismissed the hooker/madam, the one whose campaign slogan, if you're not from New York, her campaign slogan is, what is it? Yeah, but no. It's about vote homo, not Cuomo. Swear to you, that is one of her ads. Vote homo, not Cuomo. You got that? You're just going to bypass the guy who is saying the rent's too damn high?
I like him. I like him.
Yeah, you like him.
I like him, yes.
Kind of a problem that I think he's a communist, but other than that,
I like him.
He's perfect. Okay. What do you think, Richard, let me go to you. What do you think is coming after the election? Do you think things are going to get better, worse, or about the same?
Well, it appears that we're just spiraling in a black hole, and it keeps getting worse and worse. The opportunity to change the course that the Obama administration has led us on these past almost 2 years seems that there's light at the end of the tunnel. The ability to stop this movement into indebting the entire country and socializing almost communistic approach that he's taking our country into. So yeah, we're looking at hopefully better times, at least a stopping of this momentum going forward.
Okay, is there anybody here, raise your hand, if you believe that the Bush tax cuts will be extended by the end of the year? Thomas, you think they will be extended? You think the Congress that is sitting there now is going to come back, give him a microphone, is going to come back, I got to hear this, this is good, maybe he'll give us hope, that they'll come back and they'll say, you know what, I know the holidays are right around the corner and we could let this expire, and then we could all say, we didn't do it, it just expired. You think they'll extend the Bush tax cuts?
Yeah, I think with the expected GDP growth outside of the U.S. is 3 times our economy. It's the only hope to make our economy more attractive and keep investors here.
I got to tell you, I remember when I was young and naive, Thomas. I hope you're right. I hope you're right. But that takes into consideration that maybe they want to do the right thing for the country. Because, Thomas, let me ask you this. What gives you the indication that the people in Congress understand what is causing the GDP everywhere else to go? You know, the growth in Asia and the lack of growth here. What makes you think they understand that? Yeah.
I'm not too sure.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I mean, that to me, that's the problem, is I don't think they see it the same way. And so they think, I mean, there's so many of them that really believe that, you know, those evil rich, we just got to soak it. They'll never miss that money anyway. Has anybody work in Wall Street or do anything with finances or anything? You do, Krista?
I do. I'm an attorney, but I work in debt collection.
Oh,
so
you're busy.
I'm busy, and I see the lack of personal responsibility daily that people have, and that to me is the biggest reason we're in a lot of this mess.
Somebody told me that they lived down the street, this is in California, they lived down the street from somebody who they bought the house in their wife's name. They then saw that a house that they always coveted, always wanted down the street, was for sale at an unbelievable deal, lower than the house that they bought their house for. So they went into foreclosure and walked away from the house that was in her name and purchased that house in his name. You're not surprised by that at all?
No, not at all. And they probably will not have to pay for anything.
That is obscene. That's obscene. All right, we'll have some more conversation, but I want to bring in three people that may or may not win, but I thought they were worth talking to. In Colorado is Tom Tancredo. He is a former congressman who is now running for governor of Colorado on the American Constitution ticket, and Ryan Frazier. He is a Republican running for Congress in Colorado also. And joining me from Arizona, Ruth McClung. She is a 28-year-old Republican who is now running for Congress. Ruth, I want to start with you because you are you're a physicist. Is that right?
That's correct.
But I thought everybody who was conservative was a moron. What? Did you just become a conservative and now your IQ is going to start to slide down, or what happened to you?
I've been a conservative probably since I was roughly 12 years old, and something that conservatives look at is what are the unintended consequences of things that are actually pushed through, which is very heavily involved in physics, is looking at things from all different angles and looking at unintended consequences.
Have you read the book Physics for Future Presidents yet? Seriously.
I have not read it, but I do own it.
Oh, you do own it? You should read it. It's actually very, very good. I mean, every president should read it. It's a really good. The guy's from Berkeley, California, and I don't agree with anything that he, probably stands for, but it's a brilliant, brilliant book, and everybody who wants to be president should read it. You got involved. I mean, you're not a politician, right? Or is the economy so bad that there's no physics jobs?
You know, I actually worked full-time till roughly May this year, then worked part-time, and only about 3 weeks ago did I actually go to being a full-time campaigner.
So how are you doing this? How are you staying? How are you eating?
Well, fortunately, my husband, he was working on starting a business, but he went back to work to support me through this. So
Okay.
I have a great husband that's helping me out.
And why did you run?
I was pretty fed up with just the direction the country was going. I've been running for over 1.5 years now. I really wanted to make sure there was a good choice on the ticket when it came to November, and just started going out and meeting people and talking to people, and I knew what was going on in my life and how bad it had gotten, but going out there and talking to other people around this district, it really is rough out there. And I really do have it good because I still do have a job. My husband has a job, but some people, accountants that are in their 60s, can't find work right now. And talking to them, they were very high-powered accountants, and that's just one story. You're dealing with people from all different walks of life, all different career fields, that it's really rough out there.
So what is your platform?
We
Don't
really
give
need
me-
to fix the economy.
Wait. Don't give me the thing that everybody tells you to say. Just tell me what you're about.
My platform, you got to go out there and represent people and really stand up for people. And as I mentioned, you got to look at the unintended consequences. We need politicians that are willing to look at the facts. What has worked in the past? What has not worked in the past? And there are many clear ideas that have worked in the past to help us bring our economy, put it back on track. And there are many clear ideas that have not worked in the past. They have never really worked. And we need people, politicians in Washington, but also in local politics, that are willing just to sit down and look at the facts and see what's going on.
My gosh, what a racist. It's amazing to me. That makes common sense, and yet, do you hear that very often? Let me go to Colorado, and let me start with Tom Tancredo. Tom, you have been a pariah in the power circles for a very long time. They don't like you very much. You were a Republican. You're not running as a Republican now. In fact, the Republican is still running against you. I find this amazing. He has a whopping, last poll I saw, a whopping 5 percentage points, and you could win. What's happening in Colorado?
Well, it's been a very, very interesting race, that's for sure. But some time ago, I could just see this train wreck occurring, and that if I didn't do something, if I didn't get into the race, we were going to have the most liberal mayor the city of Denver has ever had, and one of the most liberal politicians in the state of Colorado, simply walk into the governorship. And so I got into the race, and things have changed.
Okay,
That's true. Now we're neck and neck.
Let me show the poll numbers. We checked. There's been a few people. Ron Paul went from 0 to, I think, 19. Not Ron Paul, but Ross Perot went from 0 to 19% when he ran. But I don't think anyone in America has ever done this. Look at this poll. Can you put the poll number up, please? Look at the poll. You went from 13% to 41% from 39.7 from September 9th to today. That's incredible.
And we're higher than that today, I'll tell you.
What is the number today?
Well, the most recent poll we saw was I had 44% and he had 47%. So that was a public policy poll 2 days ago. There's a Rasmussen poll supposed to come out today. I'm told it might look really good, even better.
Okay. Tom, the thing that the guy you're running, what's his name? Hickenlooper, right?
Yes,
Hickenlooper. The thing that I played on the program yesterday is this audio of him and the way he's talking about the people of Colorado and the West. And I want to play this video and get your comments on it.
Yeah.
I think a couple things. I mean, the tragic death of Matthew Shepard occurred in Wyoming. Mm-hmm. Colorado and Wyoming are very similar. We have some of the same, backwards thinking in the kind of rural western areas you see in, Montana, Wyoming, Colorado, New Mexico.
I have family in Wyoming.
Yeah.
I don't think they're backwards. I don't think they're going to beat anybody to death because they're different than anybody.
Well,
I think it's an insult.
It's a total insult. And here's the thing. It's not just an offhand comment about the difference between rural and city folk, It is, remember the context. He's talking about a murder, the murder of a young man up in Wyoming because he was a homosexual. And he's suggesting that that's a relatively common sort of attitude out here in the West, in Colorado, he said, Wyoming, Montana. What a thing to say. But, he really does believe that. Just like Obama believes what he said when he said that there is, when the things get tough, when the economy goes bad, these people, we out here, start, grabbing for holding on to our guns and our religion. It's this condescending, elitist attitude. But by the way, I should say that if I'm going to hold on to anything, I'm going to hold on to my guns and my religion. It's okay with me.
All right. Now let me bring in.